morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of voice of radio. So today we got a new card, bunch of new cards in fact, to talk about from Start Deck 100. It does include some secret rares, but it also includes a new Mega in terms of Mega Audino EX. Yeah, maybe we should start there. Because I'm going to tell you, like I've told you before, Mega Audino won the World Championships in 2016. Shintaro Ito, who actually went 8-0 in day one of the tournament where this was revealed, weird little coincidence, won the World Championships in 2016 with Mega Audino. And look, I know some people are going to look at this card and go, well, I don't know if it's all that good. Do you know how good people thought Mega Audino was back in 2016? Garbage. It was terrible before Worlds. It was terrible after Worlds. And yet Shintaro Ito won the World Championships with it. And that was released in its own deck like the one in Start Deck 100 is. So I'm just saying, maybe we give this one a little bit of a chance. What have we got here then? Well, we of course do have a brand new Mega EX. And what we've got is single energy, flip 3 coins for each heads. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. This is a basic Pokemon. Now, it is a basic Pokemon that gives up free prizes when KO'd, so you have to be very careful. But then again, we got stuff like Penny and Professor Turo that can pick this card up if it's on the board and potentially going to be giving away prizes. But that's potentially 6 energy accelerated. Now, the reality is you're not often going to get 6 energy accelerated. I'll happily concede that point. But the reality is that here we've got a really very, very nice way of accelerating energy. Most of the time you're going to hit 2. Occasionally you're going to hit 4. And very occasionally you're going to hit 6. Yes, it is as likely you'll hit 0 as it is that you'll hit 6. Again, that's how numbers work. But there is a potential here, at least, for very, very fun times. We've then got 3 colourless energy, 20 damage, and it does 80 extra damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Only your opponent's, not yours and your opponent's. So what you cannot do here is use the first attack, get a ridiculous amount of heads, and use that to just do a ridiculous attack on Audino. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. It's also a colourless Pokemon, which means you're not going to be hitting anything for weakness, ever, which is a little bit of a problem. And then you basically just need to look at what energy's looking like nowadays to see how you're going to be hitting people and how hard. Because you see some of the best decks around at the moment. You've got Golden Go that's a single energy attacker, Dragapult that's a 2 energy attacker, Charizard that's a 2 energy attacker. So you're hitting like 180 or maybe 100 against a lot of these Pokemon. But this is the point where I remind you that this is a basic Pokemon that attacks for colourless energy. What that means is, you can look at the format right now and you can go, quite rightly, well, we're not playing a lot of really high energy Pokemon. And we're not, incidentally, the best decks in the format are generally 1 or 2 energy attackers. But by the same token, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. This card's going to be legal for at least a couple of years. And in that time, high-energy Pokemon might come out. We're already watching people have a play with Jumbo Ice. Well, any deck that can play Jumbo Ice, you must be hitting for at least 260 damage, because they must have at least 3 energy on there. Maybe that's going to be the answer. Maybe things will change in the future. Right now, no, we don't have very energy-hungry attackers ruling the metagame. I'm sorry, we just don't. But absolutely, this could change in the future, and when it does, or if it does, a lot of the time it's going to be a when, then things get very, very different. If nothing else, the energy acceleration alone here is actually kind of awesome, and that's something we should be taking account of. Oh, Ceruledge, another great example, very widely played Pokemon right now. attacks for a single energy. Doesn't help the argument that this card is good, but it kind of proves that right now maybe it's not ready. But again, let's look for the future. Things could change. Of course, it wasn't just Mega Audino. There were a bunch of other cards revealed, including Boss's Orders Corbeau. And if you played Legends ZA, you'll see this character and you'll go, oh, I know him. And apparently the cheer in the venue when this was revealed was absolutely huge. People love this character. The thing is, from our point of view, it's a reprint. It's a card we've already got in the format, so the only question becomes, what's the regulation mark? Because if a reprint's got the same regulation mark as the last one, then you're just kind of looking at the character or the artwork or something like that to see if you want it. But if it's got a new regulation mark, it's going to keep it in the format for longer. So when was the last time we changed the regulation mark on Boss's Orders? It's Mega Revolution. Mega Revolution reprinted Boss's Orders Gets This, and it reprinted it with the regulation mark I. This comes through with the regulation mark I. So had it not been for the reprint in Mega Revolution, this would be a very big deal. Because we got the reprint in Mega Revolution, it just comes down to, what do you think of the character? What do you think of the artwork? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it's not doing anything mechanically. Although it is weird, I've seen a lot of people comment, seeing this card, hey, it's a new regulation mark. Do people forget that this was printed in Mega Revolution? I think because it was a straight reprint, people actually forget that it did get that new print with a new regulation mark. Now, there is another supporter which is actually brand new, and what we've got here is Waitress. And I kind of adore this because, again, if you've played Legends ZA, you'll know that the Waitresses are kind of honestly important in the game. Now, the thing is, here's what it does, right? Look at the top 6 cards of your deck. Choose any basic energy you find there, attach it to one of your Pokemon, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. And that's not completely terrible because we need energy. And fine, it's only attaching one energy and it's got to be in the top 6 cards of your deck, so you can whiff. But this is still accelerating energy in any deck with any typing, which isn't too shabby. But it is significantly worse than Crispin. Crispin searches your deck for 2 basic energy of different types, reveals them and puts one into your hand, and the other one to your Pokemon. Now, there are a couple of arguments for Waitress even with Crispin in the format. Number 1, this has got a different regulation mark. This will last longer than Crispin. Argument number 2, Crispin, the ruling is the first energy goes to your hand and the second one gets attached. Now, when you're searching for 2 energy, that's fine. But if you're playing a mono-type deck, Crispin won't accelerate energy. Because Crispin, if you only get 1 energy, that goes to your hand. Similarly, if you've only got 1 energy left in your deck, Crispin won't attach it, it will go to your hand. And it's in the compendium, this is 100% absolutely confirmed. If you only get 1 basic energy, that one has to go to your hand. You do not get to attach it. So there is an argument for Crispin. Firstly, it's post-rotation, but we're not even talking the next rotation. It's a while. The other argument is in a mono-type deck, or if you've just only got 1 type of energy left in your deck, then at that point, this actually works where Crispin is just an energy search. To be clear, this is worse Crispin. If you really desperately want to use Crispin, just play 1 or 2 other basic energy cards in your deck. I'm not saying this is even remotely as good as Crispin. It's not. But I'm just pointing out that for all the people saying it's just objectively worse than Crispin, well, no, there are some times it is better. They're niche and I don't really buy it. But there is at least an argument, even if it is just post-rotation or mono-type decks. Cool. But I promised you that we would have some secret rares, some illustration rares coming in here as well. And it seems a little bit rude if I don't come and share them with you now, doesn't it? Now, they are actually getting this Eevee, which on the one hand looks beautiful, and on the other hand, we got this as an ETB card a little while ago, so nobody cares. But how about Pikachu EX? And is it just me? Let me know in the comment section, right? Genuinely, let me know. This doesn't look like an EX. The artwork for this does not look like an EX card. Also, it's a free energy 120 terrible Pikachu EX. This one, there is no argument. This is just a bad card. This is a binder card only. So it doesn't actually matter. But the artwork here, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything bad about the artwork. I think the artwork is beautiful. I think it is a lovely looking card. But I'm just saying that this doesn't look like an EX card. It looks like a regular card. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree. But I do need to just share with you something that was searched out by the lovely Primal Lugia here. The artist here is Buta, who literally only did these two Vulpix cards, and they were like 8 years ago. There were Sun and Moon promo cards from 8 years ago. They were the last cards this artist ever did. That's weird, right? That's a very weird thing. And it doesn't really matter. It's just a bit strange. They disappeared for like 8 years and then came back to do this Pikachu. And I'm glad they did. This Pikachu's awesome. But tell me that's not a weird little nugget. The other one that has gone and been revealed, we do have ourselves a new Slurpuff here. And again, it's kind of beautiful. It's kind of lovely. It's got very nice artwork. It's one that a lot of people are going to be enjoying. You don't need any kind of translation here because it's just a vanilla-y card. And Yoshimon here, I do think, has just, nailed the aesthetic. I think it looks amazing. The colour, everything is just wonderful. Again, playability-wise, nobody cares. But I do think this is a particularly nice-looking card, and we can all be very happy about that. So there we go. We got ourselves a new Mega EX, which, I don't know, give it a chance. We all turned on the last one a bit too quickly. We've got ourselves a new supporter card, which is not that great, but it has its uses, and a couple of new secret rares, which are kind of beautiful. But I've shown you all of this now, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely It's a Coaster, who has proven several times to be a very lovely person, so shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.